29. After some arguments and exchanges, Bruce reluctantly gave Tim and Stephanie the news he was reassigning Cassandra to his patrol for the evening. As he drove through Gotham with Cassandra in the Batmobile's front seat, he tapped on the steering wheel almost involuntarily. "I don't know what's come over you since the injury," he said, "but I'm not going to cover for you every night." "Need space," Cassandra said. "Give me time." "I still can't have you doing anything extreme," Bruce said. "You still need to work your way back up to that. If I get any word on the Zsasz case, I'll need you to sit it out." "Zsasz can't fight," Cassandra said. "Not well. He's erratic. Too erratic for you to predict attacks against," Bruce said. "And beyond that, he gets into your head. He could keep talking after you've broken every tooth in his mouth, and you don't need any of that right now." Cassandra was about to object when Bruce scowled, brought a hand to the side of his cowl, and looked on intently. She frowned as she looked toward him. "We've got work to do." Bruce accelerated and made a sharp left turn. "A kidnapping in progress from the sounds of it." "Where?" "The witnesses said a van was headed down 21st. Some group started grabbing women and children as they were walking out of a mosque on Avery." For a moment, Cassandra nodded as she tried to place what one of his words meant. It clicked slowly, but then it came to her. "Mosque?" "Islamic place of worship." Cassandra didn't say anything, but the memory of one of Cameron Graham's many sermons reverberated in her head. Though she couldn't remember the exact specifics, Cassandra remembered he'd been harsh. But she already bickered with Bruce to change her assignment for the night. She didn't like her odds of asking again. As Bruce accelerated down 21st Street, another vehicle rushed down the opposite lanes. It was a white van, something an electrician would drive, and its speed and recklessness as it weaved made other drivers on that side of the street blast their horns. Batman glared. "That's no service vehicle." Angel clung to the handle of her seat in preparation. Batman smashed on the brakes, jerked the steering wheel in the opposite direction, and floored the gas pedal. The honks grew louder as the white van slipped into the wrong lane, and two cars crashed into one another in an attempt to dodge it. The situation already made Angel's blood chill. "White van. One's in armor drove one." "I know," Batman said. "Gordon had that van impounded, though. And what would those kids be doing in a kidnapping plot?" Fists tight on the sides of the car, Angel's glare tightened as Batman began to close in. "Working with Lipov." "Fine. What is Lipov doing in a kidnapping plot?" As if to answer his challenge, one of the back doors of the van swung open. Neither Batman nor Angel saw Harmony as she slipped to the door and adjusted her gloves, and by the time they did see her, it was all too late. The villainess delivered a sonic-reinforced punch to the pavement that cracked and tore open the road for a block backwards. Batman hit the brakes again as the Batmobile hit a nasty fissure and spun out. He and Angel flew to and fro as the vehicle came to a complete stop in the middle of the street. More cars honked and skid around them. The roads were damaged, but the two would not be deterred as Batman's foot smashed into the gas and they sped after the utility van. "Prep the slash turrets," Batman said without looking toward Angel. "I don't know how many they have in there, but if we take the van, we can book some of them while we save the hostages." Angel complied as she enabled the onboard computer and engaged the Batmobile's weapon system, but paused at the request for tire slashers as Harmony punched the ground again and Batman had to dodge. "Blast shells. Knock her out." "No," Batman said. "Let me worry about dodging. Do not aim at the van. You could hit one of the hostages and they aren't covered in armor." Angel said nothing, but her setup for the tire slashers was slow. The white van made another tight turn, and, as the Batmobile struck some of the freshest of Harmony's destroyed ground, Angel and Batman soared off the pavement and hit the street again with a thunderous thud. Both crashed into the ceiling, and though Batman was largely protected by his cowl, Angel grabbed at her head as a surge of pain and ache overtook her. "Are you all right?" "Fine." Angel turned back toward the weapon system, confirmed her selection of tire slashers, and took aim. The Batmobile's text-to-speech doodly stated, "Slashers activated." Harmony would not let up. Each punch in the pavement ripped open new cracks and potholes for Batman to drive around, and eventually even a few signs and street lamps came tumbling down. The Batmobile could handle the damage, but the destruction to the road and Batman's dodges made it impossible for Angel to properly target the tires of the van. A few slashers made it close enough to catch the car's bumper, but nothing slowed its high speed. Angel's glare turned to a scowl. There would be no catching the van as long as Harmony attacked the road. Angel punched a new string of commands into the computer. Rubber blast shells activated. Batman did not take his eyes off the ever-damaged road, but his voice lowered to a snarl to compensate. "What do you think you're doing?" Angel took aim at Harmony, fixing the problem. "I gave you an order," Batman said. "You don't want to hit anyone else in that van by accident." "I won't miss," Angel said. "I'm not asking!" Within moments, 5 pivotal actions took place. Batman took his eyes off the road to command Angel not to take the shot. At the same time, Angel pulled the trigger. Harmony punched the street again. A rubber bullet flew into her face and knocked her backwards with a broken tooth and a ring in her head. And, with his momentary distraction, Batman ran the Batmobile into the newest and largest fissure in the street. The vehicle flew off the ground again, spun out, threw the two heroes all about within until they careened into a traffic light and knocked it over. Angel flew forward and smashed her head into the car inches from the glass. For the moment, all the sound around her, from Batman shouting to the creak of the Batmobile, were silenced behind a dull roar in the front of her throbbing, bloody face. When her hearing recovered enough, Batman shook her and demanded, "Are you still awake? Answer me!" Angel held her cracked head as the dizziness faded. "Yes." "How many fingers am I holding up?" Angel said nothing for a moment, as if she didn't understand. "I said how many fingers?" "4." Batman opened his door of the Batmobile, followed by hers, and pulled her out. She was already recovering, but the sense of whiplash was just starting to set in. As Bruce leaned her against a nearby building, a drugstore that had closed for the night, Angel squinted. The white van came to a stop a block in front of them. Out from its doors came 2 bodies, one tall and one small. The 2 ran toward her as fast as they could as Harmony stepped out of the van with her fists clenched. "Stop them," Angel said. "Still moving." "Not in your condition," Batman said. "I can't just leave you here." 4 more bodies of various sizes emerged from the van and attempted to run past Harmony, as a blast of neon pink followed them out and formed a barricade. Angel could just make out the outline of Miranda as the 4 were quickly corralled back into the van. Harmony looked back and forth between the 2 who escaped, before she too retreated into the van and sped off again. Angel clenched her fists. "Need to stop them." "I'm going after them," Batman said. "I'll call Red Robin and Batgirl to get you." "No!" Angel punched the ground. "I'm fine. I can fight." "I told you not to take the shot." Batman's voice rose in anger. "You ignored me." Angel was about to protest further before the 2 escapees, a middle-aged woman in a red hijab and a little girl at her side, approached them. The little girl ran and clung to Batman's leg as she sobbed. "Praise Allah!" the woman said between gasps as she approached. "You've saved us!" As if she couldn't control her emotions, her eyes suddenly went wet. "My husband! Sir, they have my husband!" Batman looked between the woman and the still bloody Angel for a moment. "It's going to be all right." "No!" the little girl said. "No! Not all right!" "The men and women in that van, I don't know what they want, but they herded us like animals," the woman said. "Please, you can't let them do this." "I'm not going to," Batman said, "but my partner just sustained an injury." "Go," Angel said. "Police will come soon. I will be fine." Batman scowled at her and slowly peeled the small child from his leg. "We can keep guard," the woman said. "Please, you saved our lives. It's the least we can do. Just bring my husband back to me." Batman and Angel both looked down the street. The white van had vanished, but it couldn't have gotten far. Batman leveled a glare at her. "We'll talk about this later," before he threw aside his cape and climbed back into the Batmobile. As he sped off, the little girl fell into Angel's body and cried. As her mother objected, the heroine, by nothing but instinct, raised a hand and ran it over the little girl's head. Her mother, resigned to her helplessness, leaned against the side of the building and held her face to fight back more tears. For at least one of the several reasons that crossed her still pounding head, Angel regretted taking the shot.